Let's start with the question. How to differentiate enemies from allies in Battlefield 1 for a color-blind. I'm new to Battlefield and I need to know if there is an easy way to difference between allies and enemies. I mean, in Star Wars Battlefront is easy for me to difference between Rebels and Empire uniforms. But is a little bit more difficult to me in Battlefield 1. Because I'm not familiar with WW uniforms. I have to add that I'm daltonic, so it's not easy to me relate them to colors. Is there another way? Probably a mark or text or symbol near the soldier. Because right now I can only realize that is an enemy if he starts shooting me. So how can we solve this? There are two possible answers. Answer 1. There is a way to make enemies distinct from allies, spotting. Here is a video from Battlefield.com outlining the feature in BF1. This will put a diamond-shaped red mark over the head of an enemy soldier for you and all of your allies on the map. The mark does not last particularly long. But the color is affected by the colorblind options for the UI. If that is useful to you. Allies have blue, green, or yellow icons over their heads that are circles. Allies appear on the minimap as blue dots. Enemies that have been spotted or are firing weapons appear as red dots. As far as visually distinct. There are several different factions in BF1. It's not as simple as Rebellion vs. Empire, and frankly as someone who is not colorblind I have trouble telling them apart. Many of the uniforms are simply drab gray or brown. Good ways to identify an enemy solid are: look for a mark indicating spotted enemies. Look on your minimap for any enemy activity. Taking objectives. Look for players near objectives that do not belong to you. Or players heading towards objectives that do belong to you. Look for soldiers shooting at your allies or you. Not terribly useful in the moment. I know. A lot of this can also be chalked up to game sense. As you play the game more you'll naturally develop a better feel for where the enemies will be coming from to take objectives. And when there is an enemy presence at key points on the map. Answer 2. Probably the easiest way to recognize enemies in this game is to look at what they have on their head plus details of the uniforms. Here is an image of every class for every faction. Next, it's important to know which faction you are and which one you are playing against. Ottoman Empire vs British Empire, FAO Fortress Sinai Desert Suez, Austro-Hungarian Empire vs Kingdom of Italy, Empire's Edge, Monte Grappa, British, US vs German Empire. Amiens Street, Quentin Scar, Argonne Forest Ballroom Blitz. This handy YouTube video also shows you this information, but it uses the color to distinguish the enemies from the friendlies. Video. I hope these answers helped, and if they did, please drop a comment and subscribe.